So when you're having a passenger come in, you press this button and it just opened itself. So we're going to press the front button here. And like I said, I have the power frunk. We're going to see it come up on its own. And the best part, I'm going to go ahead and press the button. Favorite part of the power frunk here, it's going to go ahead and close itself. Look how awesome that is. All right, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Fit IT Guy. Today we have these cool cyber buttons. These are 10 customizable function buttons with a knob here for you to adjust the fan speed and temperature for your Model Y Juniper or Model 3 Highland. And they do make this for the first gen Model 3 and Model Y as well. And you can save 10% on this product and any product on Test Launch's website with my code TFIG. Saves you 10% off, and you can have this pretty cool product. We're going to go ahead and get to the install, but as always, guys, I review all these products just to show you functionality. Whether you like it or not is up to you. That's the whole point of these videos, is for you to find out whether you like these products or not. And I'm just showcasing all of the features of these products. I think this is actually pretty cool. It is nice to have some physical buttons, but for the Tesla purists out there, I know that this may not be the accessory for you. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to install this, show you how to set it up, and how the full functionality of this is, and you can go ahead and decide for yourself. So let's get ahead and go to the install. All right, guys, so we have our physical buttons here, and this is a pretty simple install. I haven't even done the install yet, and I can already tell how easy it's going to be. So this basically just clamps on super easy on its own without even using the connecting piece, but I'll show you how to connect this as well so that it locks it into place. So they have two different pieces here, depending on if you have a Model 3 or Model Y. It tells you on the locking piece here. And what we're going to do, so I'm going to grab the clamping piece here for the Model Y Juniper. So basically you just insert it here like so, and then it locks on like this. Boom, it's locked, and that's how it stays behind the screen. And then there is a little clip there to loosen it and make it come off, basically. So I'm going to attach this now like so, and I'm going to put it behind the screen here. And once it's situated there, I'm going to go ahead and lock it down behind the screen. And we just get it to clamp in there. Since the Model Y Juniper and Model 3 Highland have the same screen size, I use the Model 3 Highland one, but they do have a Model Y Model 3 one. This looks like for the first generation Model 3 Model Y. So we can see just like that, the button's already on. That took us, what, 20 seconds. This actually looks extremely premium, and my knee is not hitting it at all in my current driving position. I am 6 foot tall, or as Jeebs would say, 5'12". And look at these buttons. They're very tactical.
These are the amazing 3W liners that I've had both in my Model Y Juniper and my Model 3 Highland for 2 months now. I absolutely love them, and you guys can get them for 33% off with my code FITITGUY. You can click the link below in the description or the pinned comment to use the exclusive link for 3W liners and use my coupon code FITITGUY to save you 33% off in checkout. I also sell a foldable storage box that fits nicely in the sub trunk, and you can fold it away once you're done storing items inside of it. We also have these premium door sill protectors and trunk protector that are absolutely amazing while protecting all the areas around the doors and the trunk sills and protecting your car from any scratches on the inside, as well as making it much easier to clean the inside of the car where these liners cover the carpet.
I absolutely love these 3W liners. I have them in both my Model Y Juniper and my Model 3 Highland. You guys can save 33% on 3W.com with my code FITITGUY, and you can get yourself a nice set of liners from there at a great discount. Be sure to check them out.
Up and down, they have a very nice click to them. I love that. The knob here is awesome. I'm actually going to peel the plastic off of this. So the only other step now is to connect this command tool to the car. So we have our data port and our power port. And of course they have daisy chain connectors here so that we don't lose the port fully. We can still keep connecting other accessories into this accessory. As you'll see, I have a ton of accessories connected already. I think I have over 30 modifications on the car now, probably close to 40, so you'll see. But let's go ahead, pull off the passenger side panel here, and I'll show you how to do that and how to connect these wires. All right, guys, so this part's pretty easy and simple as well. I've shown you this many times on my channel. You basically take your trim tool like this, and you can pop off the side piece like so, and that just comes right off, just like that. And from here, we can pull off this piece like this,
And we just have one little push clip here that I'm going to go ahead and pop out as well. Just like so. And now we can fully pop out this carpet here. Just like that. That was, what, 45 seconds. And now from here, we can go ahead and plug in our data port. Okay, so we have our control box here. It's clearly labeled Model Y Juniper with our AMD power plug and our AMD data plug. So we're gonna go ahead, and you see I have a ton of plugs here because I've connected so many accessories already. But if this is your first time connecting an accessory, you have your main power port right here. And before I unplug this, I'm gonna go to the screen, click on safety. And after I click on safety, I'll scroll down and click power off. So I'm powering off the car here before I touch any connection points. And I'm gonna go ahead and unplug this one here. Again, this is our power, our main power connection. So if you have an older Model 3 or Model Y, it'll be this 10-port one, I believe. For the Juniper and the Highland, it should be this 8-port connection. So you can see it'll plug into the daisy chain here, which will then plug back into the rest of my accessories to give them all power. So that's our power lead plugged in there. And now all we have to do is plug in our data lead here. So back here we have our main AMD data port here. This is the CAN bus port. AMD is just the CPU that all the 2023 and up Model 3s and Model Ys use. Previously they used the Intel CPU. So going down here, I have a lot of accessories connected, but I'll actually plug this one into the main CAN port here, and then I'll daisy chain the rest. So here, plugging this in. So that's the accessories that are already there, and then this is the new accessory that's going to go straight into the main data port there. So now we're going to go ahead and test out the buttons. So we have our buttons here, and again, we can see just how amazing this looks. Such a high quality product. You can hear all the clicking. So test launch included this very nice thin ribbon style USB-C cable, extremely long. So this we can actually tuck in. So you can actually pop this piece open here a little bit with the trim tool, like so. You could even get under it. And we'll basically fit the USB-C through here. Like this. And you'll be able to see that we can get the USB-C through here like so. So that wasn't too bad at all. And we can kind of just route this through nicely. Leave a little slack so it doesn't get pulled. And then from here you can basically just push this in. Again, I'll use the trim tool to show you this. So you can just take the trim tool here, push it in like so, and it'll push the wire in just like that. And it's already perfectly hidden, as you can see there. And then super simple, we're down back on the passenger side. You just stick your finger here. This just comes right down. You don't really have to even bring it down any lower than that. And we're gonna pull our cable back through here. Remember, we already routed it between the dash panels there, so we can come around like this. Again, there's plenty of slack on this. They gave us a lot of cable here. And we can go ahead, get the cable past the little clips here. And once we do that, we can just push this all back up. There we go. We still have this cable here, which will plug into the control module, and it'll power the buttons on.
All right, everyone. So one thing I want to mention here is that this unit actually has 2 USB ports. So there's a bottom one here, which is used for diagnostics. So we don't need to use this one. There's the primary USB-C port here, which is behind the right button. So this is the one you're going to use. And as you can see, we have it connected to the commander down there, and it is all hooked up. We'll be patching that away once we get this all set up. Basically, we connected the USB-C cable. So when we did that, we got in the car, and now everything functions. So here is the main screen. The main screen is showing your fan speed, which is probably the most useful function. And we can turn this up, and we can hear the fan come up as we turn it, just like that. And of course, I'm going to turn it back down now. But I think that's extremely useful, whether you like the buttons or not. That knob alone is awesome. I really like that, because imagine every time you want to go change your fan speed, you have to go tap, tap, tap. Whereas when you use the knob, you can see how much of a difference it makes. Just like that, you get it from 10 to 0, and then back to 10 if you want to. Next, if we click on the screen here, we can set our temperature. So right now it's at 68. We could turn it down 1. And we can keep turning it down. If I turn it all the way down, that'll set it to the lowest setting, which is about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And if we turn it all the way up, that'll get our heat turned on. So we'll keep it set to a lower setting there. And if we press it again, we have our settings menu. Okay, so once we're on the settings page, you're going to hold down the button that you want to program. And now it's going to give us all the different options. So we can see here, this one looks like it's popping open the rear passenger door. And then we have the left turn signal, right turn signal, so on and so forth. And I'm just going to show you here how many different options that we have that you can set. So first things first, I'm going to set this one to park, because why not? I want to set this to the park. So once we find the command that we want to match to that button, we're going to go ahead and press on the screen, and now that should be set to park. So for the next button, I'm going to set it to drive. So I'm going to hold down the next button, and I'm just going to turn it to the left. Maybe we'll find drive faster. Okay, here's drive. I'm going to hold down now on drive, and now if I press my foot on the brake, let's see if this puts us in drive. Okay, it put us in drive. If I click this now, puts us in park. So, as you guys know, I did install an aftermarket physical shifter, just like the original Tesla Model 3s and Model Ys had. But for those of you that are getting your car new, you do not have a shifter, you just have this on-screen shifter. So, if you're buying these buttons anyway, I think a pretty neat option is to set this to drive, and then set this one to park, just to have some physical buttons and not only rely on an on-screen shifter. I'm also going to label each one of these as I put it on. So over here, I'm going to label this one as drive. I'm going to label the first one as park, and I'll continue labeling them and show you the aftermath. So basically now you got the gist of how to add buttons and set them to certain functions. So I'm going to do the rest of these, and I'll show you the aftermath of what buttons I set to these next 5 buttons. Alright, so here's what I set the rest of the buttons to. You can see I did battery preheat, I did the rear fan, which is very useful, mirror folding, frunk, and then front passenger door open. So let's see what some of these do right now. So battery preheat, you're not going to see anything on the screen necessarily, but the battery is preheating right now. Next, the rear fan. So to use the rear fan, even if somebody's sitting in the rear of your car, for whatever reason the rear fan doesn't turn on right away, you have to go here and then press on. Now, that's so many steps, right? So we just clicked once, twice, 3 times to turn on the rear fan. So obviously we don't want to have to do that when you have a passenger in the car. You can just press that, and the rear fan turned on right away because we can hear that it changed. If I press this, the rear fan turns off. We can hear it's a little bit quieter now. Now we can fold our mirrors, so we should be able to see the animation. The mirrors did just fold, indeed, and we can unfold them like that. I'm going to show you another of me pressing the button here. They're folding, unfolding, and now one of my favorites, the frunk. As you know, I have a power frunk, so we're going to press the frunk button here, and like I said, I have the power frunk. We're going to see it come up on its own, and the best part, I'm going to go ahead and press the button. Favorite part of the power frunk here, it's going to go ahead and close itself. Look how awesome that is. All good to go. The car screen shows that the power frunk is closed. And finally, we have the passenger door here. So when you're having a passenger come in, you press this button and it just opened itself. Look at that. They don't have to use the handle. It just did that on its own, and you can go ahead and close it. You can see here on the screen it opened itself. So how cool is that? You're having somebody come in, especially if you're doing ride share, you just press that. For people that are new to Tesla, they don't have to worry about the handles, and people that are used to Teslas, some people just hate the handles or don't know how to use them. So there we go. I also want to mention that these are illuminated, so at night these buttons will be lit up so that they are easier for you to see. And final step, we're just going to put this all back together. I don't need to show you how to do that. You should know by yourself at this point. If you took it out, same process to go back in. So we're going to patch that up and we'll go ahead and end out the video here. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that install and product overview of the Cyber buttons from test launch. Again, you can save 10% off with my code TFIG, and that saves you 10% off on anything on their website. And again, I think this is a pretty cool product, actually. It looks very premium. The buttons are beautiful. This is actually kind of the same button knobs that are on the new 992 generation Porsche 911s. This is no slouch in terms of product appearance. Everything feels great. The clicks feel awesome. We can click on things here. Feels great. Even turning the knob, the OLED screen here is very cool, very premium screen, and you can press it as well, change certain functions. So to me, I think this is a great product for a lot of people. This solves the complaint that a lot of people have when they transition from a gas car to a Tesla, is that the Tesla is so plain, so basic. As you guys know, I did install, right when I got my car, a physical gear shifter again. I just like having some certain physical buttons, and the fact that I can map these to their own function. They give you about 20 customizable functions that you can map to these buttons. So you map it to whatever you want. They aren't pre-configured. You do whatever you want with these buttons, and you still have the knob, which is amazing, because we know how many steps it takes sometimes to go into the climate control, change the fan speed like that, whereas we can just turn a knob without having to touch the screen at all. Some functions work better as buttons. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. This is actually a pretty cool one. I didn't know what to expect when I got it, and I actually ended up really liking it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Always doing product installs on my channel, reviews, product reviews, and all sorts of Tesla DIY. So stick around for the next Fit IT Guy video, and see you next time.